my friend Steve-O was a big, not the Steve-O.
Steve-O from Jackass?
Different
You can't just drop a Steve-O. No, it's not to go right there.
Different one.
Different
Steve-O. Korean friend of mine. And he was a big sushi guy, and I wanted to get into sushi. I liked it. And so he said the best place is this place by his house in Studio City. Yeah. And so he said, he goes, don't get freaked out. It's not going to be a lot of people in there. He said, but the people who are in there, they know. And George Clooney will be there probably. And I'm like, get out of here. So I walk in. It's Friday night at 8 o'clock. I walk in, and my friend is sitting at the sushi bar. And he's the only one. There's no one else in there. 8 o'clock on a Friday. I'm like, this place can't be good. So I sit down, and there's 5 people at a table. The only other people are 5 people in this table. And one of them's George Clooney.
That's crazy.
I was like, get out of here. So then we eat, and then so I go to the bathroom, and as I come out of the bathroom, George Clooney is like bowing to him, right? He's like saying
culture appropriation.
So I do that.
I've ever seen one.
I do that now to him when I leave. So when I come in, we bow to each other. When I leave, we bow to each other. So and he's like doing that, and he's like saying something to him. So I like stop because I don't want to walk in between them. And I just I thought it'd be over real quick, but they kept talking, and now I look like an asswipe. I'm standing there just because he's George Clooney. If it was anybody else, I would have just walked right through. No. So I'm like, you got to walk through now. You can't just stand there. You look like an idiot. So as I start to walk through, and then I ducked my head. I don't know
why. But you know what's crazy? If I can add to that, George Clooney tells the exact same story. He's like, I go to this place, and the only person there is this guy Jimmy Dore. I bow to him. The whole deal.
Here's even crazier than that. So about a week ago, maybe 2, my wife saved the Boston Legal is on Hulu now, and so that's my all-time favorite show is Boston Legal. I never liked any of those people in acting until they were on that show, and I love them, right? Especially William Shatner. Yep. And so I'm sitting there, again, just me and my friend Rick Overton having sushi, only people in the place. In walks William Shatner by himself, sits down at the sushi. So my wife had saved this episode, and it was about how him and his name is Denny Crane on the show, and Alan Shore is the other guy. I can't think of his real name, but they have these conversations at the end of every episode where they smoke a cigar and they have a scotch and they have these heart-to-hearts. And so they were talking about. He said, the one guy said, my father never approved of me, and he said, there's nothing more horrible than a father's not approving of his son. And then Denny Crane, William Shatner, says, my father always approved of me, right? But we know as an audience that his father disowned him, right? Yeah. So then he finally just snaps and goes, my father disowned me. And Alan Shore looks at him and says, Denny, I'm proud of you. And he says, what are you proud of? And he says, I just am. I always am proud of you. Oh, wow. And my wife saw that, and she knew I would want to see it because it really was emotional for me. And it was really a big deal for me. And so then I'm sitting there the next day, William Shatner walks in, sits there, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Who said? Yeah. And so that was a big deal. And we talked, and he told me he got... So every time he would eat a piece of fish, he would look at me and goes, this is amazing. And I go, yeah, this is the best. This is the best fish.
So how was the California roll, though?
Yeah. And did Bill Shatner say he's proud of you?
Yeah. And by the way, it's kind of like, and that's our sponsor today is the sushi spot out in Studio City. It can't get a better sponsorship than this.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.